sometimes you gotta hit those little road bumps, you know, before you get to smooth sailing. Yep. Coasting above the atmosphere, feeling stratospheric, looking at the moon's looking back at me like fearing. I'm flying high, Boeing 747, lay my seat back when I look at the heavens. Waitress comes up to me, asks me for something, lobster, steak, filet. I got it, put it on the car when I land down, touch Beijing. China got me feeling all Asian. Gotta zing around the joint, gotta hop on the cart, gotta spin lots of cots so I get the Cartier in frame. Then I'm out to Maine, chillin' with my mom and my main men. Beach change, I got things on my mind to do, like write a book, do comedy, and come see you. And when I ring the phone, I want you to hit me back. No waiting in the game, I'ma feel it like the lane. I'm a lane to lane switcher. We got everything that we wanted, everything that we got. Yeah, we worked hard for it. We are everything that we could be.
You hit a rough patch before the smooth sailing. You gotta take it back before you bring it back in. You hit a rough patch before the smooth sailing. You gotta get it back before you take it back in, take it back in.
Some days I just wanna hang out and eat ice cream by myself and meditate and think. Maybe something more, maybe something else. But when I really think about it, it's just me and no one else. You come in the world alone, and then you die alone. But family, friends, and everything that's going on. You reach to God, and God reach back, and He done bless you. And then you think maybe one day that can be me too. On the billboard on Sunset Boulevard, when you're riding Ferrari LaRon, California, yeah, on my mind. Beach chillin', beach cruising, and a beach house. But anything and more is what I'm about.
My tight hamstrings starting right now. It's my tight hamstrings starting right now.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another tight episode of my Tight Hamstrings. I am Graham Rogers, and with me, as always, is our fearless band leader and co-host, Mr. Gerard Bauer. Now, you may see something a little different, and that's a mustache on my face. It's red and it's a little bit angry, you know, but I have to. A beard's kind of like mascara for a dude's face a little bit, you know? Like, if you have the face of like a lima bean, you know how some men have that kind of soft baby face, like they never quite hit puberty, but they're like 30 years old, and you can kind of tell they're getting older because like the bags under their eyes are starting to develop, but they don't got no hair on them.
Like an old man baby.
Like an old man.
Like a tired little baby.
Like a tired little baby, and you're like, why is your face so smooth? But the rest of your body looks so frumpily. It's called petogenesis, and I don't have that, you know. But Andy Milonakis has petogenesis, and I was thinking about this the other day. So say that like your mind grows, but your body never does. Are you allowed to still like little children? Like say that you're like a 45-year-old man, but you're trapped in a 16-year-old's body. Like who gets to dictate what you like? You know?
I don't know.
How do we identify our age? Based on our mind or based on our body? You know, like if I look like a 7-year-old and had the mind of a 30-year-old man, I think that would be even more weird if I dated other 30-year-olds. You know, I think the body, because we care a lot more about the physical. You know, no one cares about what you think anymore.
The appearance.
No one cares about appearances. It's like, dude, like how big are your traps? What do your glutes look like when you're lifting? Oh, but when you come to me with like, I don't know, a little bit of knowledge, then that's when us as a society turns off. You know? That's why philosophy is dead and P90X is in.
Very true.
Very true. You know, you ever hear of anyone actually like going to school for philosophy anymore? Why would you do that? Like, that's the same thing as going to school and getting like a Bachelor of Arts degree. It's like, yo, just Google the shit.
What painting is this? Google it.
It's probably a Picasso.
They got the Google image recognizing algorithm. What song is this? Shazam.
Shazam it.
Shazam it.
Dude, there's no need to even learn anything anymore. You know, like honestly, you could just sit at home all day long and isolate and still be smarter than your average 18th century philosopher. What a wasted life, right? Descartes. You think you're all smart, Descartes? Could you log on Instagram and post a live video? Probably snot.
Yeah.
Probably snops. Oh, there we go. Yeah, dude. So, dude, yeah, it's it. It's what is it, Saturday again, dude? On the way over here, I stopped and I got some ice cream, and so I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty good. I got that Halo Top ice cream, which for a pint is 320 delicious calories, which is a little suspect because that's about 700 calories less than most other pints of ice cream, yet it tastes the same. What's going on, Halo Top? And also, if you want to sponsor us, you should do that because I really enjoy your ice cream. You know, I'll even shout out, dude. Let's get to a point where sponsors are not. They don't want to sponsor us. They want us to stop bringing up their products on a podcast. I think that's a cool place we could actually aim to go to.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you never heard of anyone like it, they're so annoyed by like your shout outs that they're like, you gotta shut up about our product because you're making it worse for everyone involved. So Halo Top, if you're listening, which you're not, I can see exactly who's listening, and it's just my mom.
You got to follow them on Instagram. Halo Top. Do they have an Instagram account?
It's a great idea. I don't know.
Follow them and then just keep tagging them every time.
Just go, yeah. Just be like, hey, this is a podcast sponsored by ice cream, and then they click on it and they realize it's really not, but it's too late, and then they love us and they drop off. You know, I was thinking about like as a gift sending ice cream out, but I could see how that could run into some logistics issues.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get to the point where I can just like buy someone a hat and just send like a random buddy a hat. You know, like that's kind of the gift level. Like I want to just be able to gift. Like I would like to come over here and give you like, you know, like a jersey. Like how fun would that be if I came with you with like I was just like packing a LeBron jersey, and I was like, here you go, and you're like, that's like,
cool. I like it.
Right?
I mean, I like a hat. I think I wear a hat more often.
Yeah, but that's why I get you a jersey,
useful.
so you know, you could really be a weird. You could just be the guy chilling at your house and you're in the jersey, and you're in your own jersey. I don't think some people will take off sweatpants and jerseys, honestly. And it's always interesting. The people who wear jerseys most often are always the most unathletic people. Have you noticed that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, because jerseys are meant to be fitted loose, and who's looser than Juan, who sits and eats fucking Cheetos all day and watches competitive video gaming. My brother got the setup to start filming his video games live, and I was like, we're different.
It's weird, man, and I don't disagree that some of these games look so good. I would definitely watch somebody play them for a bit. That being said, the professional video game players who are streaming and people who are watching, I think you're missing out on life. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not judging you. I'm just saying you might be missing out on some life.
I don't think you're wrong about that. I mean, you're kind of inundated in something that's not real. You know, like go out and experience, you know, like maybe don't play Grand Theft Auto, commit Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, right? That's what we're talking about,
yeah,
man.
Like don't
Carpe
go out.
diem.
Carpe diem. Like don't go out, play Call of Duty. Like go out and get an AK and just see what it really feels like, and then I bet you'll change your mind about About games, dude.
Right.
Okay, so I was watching this show on Netflix called I Am a Killer. Have you seen that?
I've seen the promos.
Dude.
I have not.
It's so funny. Like, I feel like every murder story starts off with someone doing speed. That's always the catalyst for a murk. You know, like this guy who was on this recent episode was like, yeah, you know, so I was with my buddy, and his buddy's name was Dallas, which is a cool kind of gangster name. They were chilling out in San Antonio, Texas. And so this guy was like, he was keeping it cool and just snorting cocaine, all right? You know, like a good boy. And then Dallas, his older, more maniacal friend, was like, you got to shoot that cocaine into your system. And he was like, no, I don't want to. My mom was addicted. And, you know, then after a while, you know, Dallas kind of got into his head.
Yeah. What are you, a pussy?
Yeah, what are you, some fucking wanker? And so then homie was like, fine, I'll see what the fuss is about. And he said once he shot it up, he never used his nose again. And then so like then he got really amped up, and he's like, you know what would be even better than injecting cocaine? Murking someone. Murking. Shooting. Death row. Shooting. Murking. Death row. Shooting. Murking. Death row. Dallas, why'd you do it to me?
Yeah, it's bad decision making. Done.
Yeah, dude. Anytime you inject anything in your system other than steroids, it's a bad idea. You know, steroids are fine, dude. You know.
Or the old hot beef injection.
What is a hot beef injection?
I think you know what it is, Graham.
Oh, that fucking slip and slide pork sausage.
Yeah.
Up in that mushroom cave. Yeah, but I don't like. It's just. I don't know, man. It's just I feel like most stories involving, but you know the thing about these murderers though is like, you know, I kind of feel for them a little bit because they have bad childhoods and stuff, and you know, and then they go do something like that. But what I learned about death row is that death row supposedly is like the yacht version of jail because you're just like chill. You're like, I'm gonna die in here. Everyone's nice. You get a TV. You get better meals.
I'm gonna die in here.
And they say that everyone who's like on death row, they're very supportive of one another. There's like no more fighting. They've resolved to the fact that their grave will be laid in jail. You know, and I think that's kind of comforting in a way to kind of know how you're going to die. And they know that it's going to be by lethal injection. So, you know, it kind of comes full circle. A lot of these men end up in jail by injecting cocaine, and they leave by lethal injection. And it was kind of like, what came first, the chicken or the crack cocaine in your arm or the lethal injection? The crack cocaine in your arm came first. That's the answer to that. You know,
that is true.
That's true. Yeah, to be in solitary confinement would just, ugh.
What's your last meal, man? You're getting put to death tomorrow. What is your last meal?
Dude, my last meal would all have to be homemade for my sweet mother. It'd be her homemade fried chicken, tomato tart, probably some good vegetables, some fried okra, black-eyed peas, a thick piece of cornbread. For dessert, I'd have her cheesecake or maybe a chest square, wash it down with a glass of Horizon Organic whole milk. Dude, I used to drink so much whole milk. Dude, half and half is not, like, that's not that far off from half and half.
Yeah, whole milk is good.
It's so tasty, you know, I just love I love pouring whole milk because it comes out so creamy.
Yeah.
There's something aesthetically pleasing
like
about.
Straight out the cow's teat.
Straight out of cow teat. Yeah, what about you? What would your last meal be?
I think I'd go with some kind of steak, like a monster ribeye steak. Like I think they're called tomahawk steaks.
Oh yeah.
That's my jam right there, man. That's
yeah.
That maybe some good mashed potatoes.
Ooh, yeah, mashed potatoes would be great. Some like a buttery, peppery.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of imagination. I'm just going with the standard, man.
Yeah,
I'm about to die. Oh, definitely a glass of red wine with that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I wonder if they limit how much wine or beer you can have so that you can't get too fucked up. Cause
Probably.
I wonder if it's like getting a tattoo, like they won't give it to you like if you're super inebriated, Cause those tattoo places, like most of them, if you're really fucked up, they won't give you a tattoo. But the ones that are like cool, like you could go in there, on a half a bottle of Oxycontins, and they'll be like, "What you want? What you need?" And you're like, "Dude, I want a dragon coming out of my nostrils." And they're like, "I got you, sober man." You walk out there, wake up the next morning, you're like, "Dude, why is Puff just hanging out my nose hairs?" Dude, that would be. Oh man, dude, yeah.
Or just do it like a mustache almost, where you have one coming out of each nostril and then coming down your face.
Oh, yeah, dude. That'd be, no one's done. Okay, so I was thinking about, so, we talked about face tattoos. So now they're becoming so common that, like, you have to do the next thing, the next big face tattoo. So my face tattoo now I would just black out my entire nose. Just completely. Who does that?
Yeah.
That is, if there's anyone out there that wants to do that, you can do it, because I'm not going to do it. But, like, dude, just just tattoo your entire nose black. That's it. Like, everyone has these cool fucking tattoos and swords, and, Post Malone has a barbed wire coming out of his forehead. Like, dude, that's something, but until you tattoo your nose in, then you're not shit.
That's pretty good, man. What about getting a face tattooed on top of your face?
That's like eyes wide shut type shit. I mean, that'd be so trippy to look at. Or like, what if you got your own face tattooed on your face, but just slightly off? So everyone think they'd have like double vision or something. That'd be really weird.
Really fucks with you.
Yeah.
You can see those pictures on the internet where people like give themselves two sets of eyes on their face, and it just hurts your brain to look at.
Yeah, some things are meant to happen.
Yeah,
and that's one of them.
That's our facial recognition brain kicking in and being like getting short circuited because you're like, this doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, there's this guy at the gym who he has a tatted on mustache and beard, and it's weird because like it's either tatted on or he uses a Sharpie to do it, but either way it looks not real. And I'm just wondering, like, maybe he I don't know, like I feel like at a certain age you just have to get past that. Like if you can't grow a beard, then like maybe like why are you using a magic marker to beard yourself? Because like you can just tell, like it looks exactly how you would think. You would just but your brain recognition is like, that's off. That's weird.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you can't grow facial hair, then just don't. But so let's talk about this exciting news. Someone laid some pipe. Someone laid some pipe the other day.
Breaking news.
Someone had sex with me. Ooh, yeah. And listen, we're not going to get too into details because I don't kiss and tell to everyone. But if you ask, I will. Like
just one-on-one basis.
Just honestly, like I won't kiss and tell if you ask me in person, but on a live Instagram and on my podcast, I'll tell the world, because if you don't have honesty, then what else do you have? And you can't talk about life experiences, then what else are you doing? Are you a closeted opinioner? Are you living in the own shekels of your own mind and honesty? Well, if you are, that's nowhere to be, so I'm going to talk about it, okay? Because this is the first time that I have had sex since I've been sober. And if you can't spell, that spells sober.
Sex.
Sober sex, which is weird. It's very engaged. Like sober sex is you're very aware of what's going on. When you're having drunk sex, like there could be a parakeet loose in the room and you wouldn't even know. Because you're about 6 or 7 Bud Lights down. But yeah, sober sex, if there's like if like your neighbor's phone rings, you can hear that, and you probably know that like who's calling because you know what time of the night it is. You're very alert during sober sex, but so it's different, you know. But so the setup to it was ramen, and I think ramen really set off the night. Well, first I have to say that I met this girl at a bar, okay, and I was feeling pretty good about myself because I don't know why that night, but I remember at the bar I picked up, you know how they have like the oranges at the bar for like for the little zest or whatever. I picked up one of those oranges and started playing with it, okay, like a fun kind of vibe. And then the bartender goes, "Put that down."
And you're like, "No,
and I was
I'm
like,
the fun fruit guy.
Yeah, come on, look
my
at
thing.
me.
You know me.
I'm like a day or two away from getting my nose tatted black. I'm playing with this orange. But this girl beside me was like, she thought it was hilarious. You know, she was kind of a citrusy woman herself.
Like citrus humor.
She liked citrusy humor. She liked high fruit funnings, you know. So we started talking about fruits and all sorts of other kind of exotic like fruits and stuff, and so we hit it off, and she had a friend with her, and I was with my buddy Ted, and the other friends weren't interested in one another, but me and this girl, we kind of hit it off, and you know when you meet a girl at a bar and you get her number, you never expect to actually meet up after that, because
right.
like
very low probability.
It's a very low probability, and I'm like, you know, I've met so many girls out at bars, and I get their number, and the next day I'll text them, and then they're like, "Who's this?" And I'm like, "Oh," I was like, "You remember that guy who stepped on your foot and it ended up, you know, talking about daddy issues?" As that guy, and but yeah, like the next day. We texted, and a week later, it happened a week later, which the probability of hooking up with a girl a week later after you met her in Los Angeles is extremely, extremely low. Because the thing in LA is that, you know, there's a lot of lily pads to jump from. Like, say that I had met this girl in Lincoln, Nebraska, then she would be holding on to the thought of me forever, because there's not very many lily pads. But in LA, there are a lot of hot, muscular, big tittied lily pads to hop on to and hop off. So the probability of getting with that girl that you met a week prior is very low. So we set up a date, okay? And I'm like, at first I ask her if she wants to go get street tacos, and she goes, "I am a vegetarian." And I was like, let's not do that, because who would go to a street taco vendor and get vegetables? So we get ramen, okay? And it's like 97 degrees out. It's like 97 degrees outside.
Buddy.
So you add ramen and heat and just like a general kind of hot energy to one another.
Yeah. Hot. Is ramen spicy?
She got extra spicy ramen.
Yeah.
And then midway through the date, she went to the restroom, and I'm wondering. So, you know, it was hot, spicy, you know, and at one point, this is what I did. At one point, I got 2 cloves of garlic, and I put it in my ramen, and I said, "I hope my breath doesn't smell bad when we kiss later." She loved it.
Nice.
You know, I was like putting out those fun, flirty vibes while I'm, you know, because like, you gotta almost have to be so gross that it comes around again until they find you attractive, you know. So then after that, I go, well, what's a great accoutrement to ramen? Frozen yogurt.
Froyo.
So not only do we have like something very spicy and hot, then we have fucking milky yogurt.
Let's get some froyo.
And dude, you know the moment I knew,
Yeah.
you know the moment I knew we were gonna have sex. This is the moment I knew. Is when she only got like a tiny amount of froyo, because I knew that she didn't want to be gassy or full when we fucked. I knew right away, because she had told me how much she liked froyo or like ice cream, and then literally when we got there, like she had like it was like a rabbit's turd size, and I was like, oh, we're gonna have sex tonight, because she doesn't want to get that bloated feeling, you know. She doesn't want to, you know, maybe squeak out a fart or two, you know, when you're making love, because that
baby.
could be.
Lowe's the froyo, man.
Low is, yeah, fro, yo, and so.
Froyo and so.
Froyo and so. And then, so we get the froyo, and like, I've always been kind of bad at making the first move, and I've always found awkward, that to be awkward. And, it didn't cease that it still was. So we're in my car outside my apartment, and we're kind of talking, and we get on the subject of food poisoning.
Nice. Yeah, it's a good place to go. Keep
yeah,
going.
and so I was like, she was saying how she doesn't eat shrimp, and she doesn't eat cheesecake because it's giving her food poisoning. And I thought that was a good time to go in for a kiss. And, you know, I read the situation right.
Nice.
Yeah, and reciprocated, and, you know, what happened after that I can only tell you right now, right here. No, I'm kidding. But, you know, sometimes adults do adult things. And,
wow, right after food poisoning, huh?
yeah, it went from food poisoning to, like, to just other types of, like, love poisons, you know?
Love poisons.
Love poisons. But, you know, like, that was the first time I've had, you know, that's the first time I've had sex since I've been sober. You know, the last time, well, the last day my rock bottom was when I was with, I had that skanky sex, and that was what was a facilitator and why I got sober, dude.
Was this a rando chick?
She wasn't really rando, but she's kind of around. But
Okay,
like,
okay.
it was just.
But
like,
it wasn't like, yeah, it wasn't your
a
ex
complete.
or anything.
No, it wasn't my ex. It was just like a complete. Yeah, it was just a dirty situation,
Just
man.
like a extra in your life, a featured extra.
She was like, I don't know if she
Guest
was
star?
even. She wasn't even featured because I don't think this girl would even be considered SAG eligible. You know, I
This bitch ain't SAG eligible.
yeah, like she more like responded to like a Craigslist call for like background work. She didn't go through the right
Cattle
avenue.
call.
Yeah, she didn't go through the right avenues to get the part of patron number 4. But you know,
rock bottom sex partner number 3, I think is
yeah,
the character's name.
Oh man, yeah, I was saying yesterday, like making a joke, is like someone was like, yeah, I used to cry. Sometimes I cry after sex. And I'm like, I never cried after sex, but I've gone to an AA meeting after one. Which is about the same level, about the same thing, about the same emotional,
That's a funny and sad joke.
It's
That's
yeah, it's like, but yeah. But you know what maybe got me thinking also is just how like youngsters treat STDs now. You know, like, here's the STD test for millennials. You're already raw dogging for about 10 seconds, and then you stop and you go, do you have something? And they say no, and then they go, do you have something? And they say no, and then you keep fucking. That is an STD test now. You know?
Yeah, it's because AIDS, man, isn't the same powerhouse it used to be. You know, like everybody's like, oh, you can get AIDS and you can live with it. 'Cause when I was coming into it, AIDS was in full swing. You know, it's like the mid 90s, late 90s. And, yeah, AIDS was barely 10 years old.
So you grew up on that condom life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and it was scary, man. I mean, everybody was like, no, this is some real shit.
The gay flu.
You can get AIDS.
Yeah,
and
dude.
you can have sex, and it'll be a death sentence. So we had that, but that's not, man.
No one really.
Hey, AIDS, pick it up. I think we
Yeah.
need to do AIDS to make a more deadly strain of AIDS.
Yes, you're like kind of give it just give it some more juice. But yeah, I don't think.
Scare the kids.
But like now, like I think it's kind of sexy to have like an STD. You know.
Lets everybody know you're fucking. You know.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
It's like a birthmark for your genitalia. You know. You have like a little herp smear, and you're like, yeah, that was Becky, dude. She was she's
a freak.
she's a freak. She used to be a Los Angeles Clippers cheerleader in the 1980s. And you're like, wow, like, dude, that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
That's
dude.
a notch. It's a notch on your bedpost right there.
Dude, okay, so this is just honesty, but so that night, my rock bottom night, the night before I got sober, I was drinking and I was using, and so I wasn't really in my right mind. But when I was hooking up with this girl, dude, and we were doing it without a condom on, and every time, dude, this is how bad I felt about it. Every time we had sex, I would get up and I would go to the bathroom and I would wash my dick off with Dawn soap. And I did that 3 different times, dude, because I was thinking that if Dawn is strong enough to wash oil off a baby penguin, then it may be strong enough to wipe some herp off, my little baby D. And I don't know if that makes any sense, but like I probably did more damage to my penis than good.
That's some rock bottom shit.
That's some rock bottom shit, dude. Like go into the bathroom at 3 o'clock just to lather up your little sin stick with some soap, and like thinking that that's gonna do something, like that's crazy. I'm glad I'm sober. I'm glad I don't have to do that anymore. Like that right there is an indicator that like you can't handle your alcohol when, and then you see like a bottle of Dawn come in there and start.
It's a good sign, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God, it's already almost that time. What else? Okay. Oh yeah. Real fast. Did I want to? No, I said that joke last night. On a set. I was gonna talk about chlamydia for a second.
Let's talk about chlamydia for a second.
You know, it's funny. Like on the last 2 episodes, like I've left the room and I go, oh god damn, I'll talk about chlamydia. That's the last 2 times. So you know what? We can just keep on. Keeping on,
Let's tease it, man.
Dude,
tune in next time.
Yeah, tune in next time, and maybe we'll get to chlamydia. But that was a fun episode, guys. And as always, I enjoyed doing this, and I enjoy everyone, and we've gotten some good feedback. And if you like it, spread that shit. Spread this podcast like a dirty STD. Let's do it, guys. This has been another episode of My Tight Hamstrings. I'm Graham Rogers, and with me, as always, my most handsome fucking musical genius. He's like the Shakespeare of a synth board drum. He can write Romeo and Juliet on a C note.
Yeah, that's right.
George, do you have anything else you want to say?
Well, thank you for listening to My Tight Hamstrings. And remember, it can always be worse.
Yeah. So on a goodbye note, I just want to say that, like, thank you to all of our sponsors out there. Thank you to my sponsor, Eric. Thank you for, So on that goodbye note, I would like to say good night, San Diego, and goodbye, New York City and Philadelphia. Gerard, is there anything else you want to say before we leave this podcast?
Goodbye, Chicago.
Ooh, goodbye, Chicago. Good night. That's it. My Tight Hamstrings. This is Graham Rogers, and with me, as always, is my very handsome musical genius of a co-host, Gerard Bauer.
I think you already said that.
We're signing off now. But before we do, I just want to give a special thanks to the city of Mar Vista and the city of Los Angeles, and to everyone out there who's really supported. But even more than the supporters, I want to thank my haters.
The people who aren't listening right now.
That's who I want to give a big shout out to. The people who aren't in my life and never will be. George, is there anything else you want to say before we get off the air?
I think we just want to give a shout out to everybody who's thinking about listening but hasn't really downloaded it yet. They've subscribed maybe, and they're like, I gotta check this out. So when you get here, this episode's for you.
Yes. And it's going to take a little while to get into it, but as it always, it's just enlightening to bring you on this journey. And as that, I bid you adieu. But before we say goodbye, though, and this is a real note, I just want to say to my family and to the Academy, thank you. iTunes Academy for teaching everyone how to use podcasts safely and responsibly. That means a lot to everyone out here, and I don't think I could say goodbye without giving them a shout out. So good night and have a great weekend. Gerard, anything else you want to say?
I just want to thank everybody who just listened, the actual listeners to this podcast, and actually the people who are sitting here right now on live, if anybody's left.
No.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. That's it, guys. Bye. And before he's... No, I'm kidding.